All right, so right now, there are a whole bunch of you who are undecided voters or saying you can't vote for Trump or saying you can't, you're going to sit this out or vote for a third party candidate or any of that stuff. And here's what I want you to do. Are you willing to rethink things and consider how information flows to you and maybe take a second look at things and not be influenced by other people? Can you listen to a little argument about how the world is presented to us? I just want you to think about this and be open to having your mind changed. So imagine this. This is different than any election than I've seen in my lifetime, and I'm in my mid to late 40s. So I've never seen an election like this where this is not your traditional Republican versus Democrat election. This is a true insider versus outsider election. So when we look at that, let's think about this. Who are the insiders? The insiders are the establishment Republicans, the establishment Democrats, the media, and all the people who gain power from the system. So if they get their power from the system, that means that they want to keep that power. They're going to cling to that power and do whatever they need to hold on to it. And you've got an outsider who has no power in the system whatsoever, and the system is lining up to oppose him. So think about this. Why are all the powers that be in the Republican Party going against Donald Trump? Why is everybody in the media going against Donald Trump? Why are political commentators who are normally staunchly Republican, I'm talking about Charles Krauthammer, I'm talking about Bill Kristol, I'm talking about those type of people, why are they opposing Trump and saying bad things about him? It's because they're the establishment, and if he gets into power, the whole establishment will be turned upside down. And that's the last thing that they want. That's the last thing any of them want. So you have to look at what's going on through the lens of the establishment versus the outsider. And when you look at that, it's always, people want to talk about media bias and say, oh, there's no media bias. Well, media bias really isn't what they say, it's what they don't say. So if you look at Hillary Clinton, you go back through all of her scandals, you've got Benghazi. In Benghazi, people died, yet there's a strange lack of curiosity from the press about what happened. Oh my gosh, it was a video that caused this. I mean, really? Did people really believe that it was a video that caused it? That's a bunch of BS. That's not true. Okay, so let's look at the current stuff. Her email scandal. If you go back to July when Comey came out and basically indicted her on TV and then said, oh, by the way, we're not prosecuting her. Well, what was his reason? He said, oh, she wasn't sophisticated enough to handle the emails properly at the State Department. She wasn't sophisticated enough? So he's basically saying she was too stupid to do the emails properly. So what are your choices, Hillary? You're too stupid or you're lying? Which one is it? And she's saying that Trump isn't fit to be president when she's the one who's too stupid to handle the email at the State Department? So you got that. So now you got the people who keep saying these things about Trump. Has Trump said stupid things? Absolutely, he's said stupid things. But you know what? If you really go back and you look at the record, a lot of those stupid things are just taken out of context and made to look stupid. Like, for instance, the whole thing about he thinks all Mexicans are liars and rapists and murderers and all that. I mean, seriously, do you really think the man thinks that all Mexicans are liars and rapists and murderers? Of course not. He was talking about the people who are from Mexico who are actually rapists and murderers, and that's exactly who he was talking about. So if he's talking about them, why does the media keep portraying it as he's saying all Mexicans are like that? It's because they're the establishment and they want to bring him down no matter what, because he's the guy who's going to turn things upside down and ruin things for them. So let's look at things. Just think about that. The establishment wants to destroy Trump. The establishment wants to lift up Hillary because Hillary means business as usual and Trump means we don't know what the heck we're going to get from a political establishment point of view. So look at this. Don't even get into the whole idea of the Supreme Court, where if Hillary Clinton's elected, clearly we will have activist judges added to the Supreme Court if she's elected. So what happens if the court gets stacked with activist judges? Well, we lose our freedom of speech. We lose our freedom of religion, which we're already losing, by the way. We lose our freedom to keep and bear arms. I mean, it's crazy that we're going to give that away and lose that for a generation or more just because Trump said bad, mean things and we can't vote for him because of that. So as far as I'm concerned, the country is hanging in the balance. If this woman gets elected and brings to town her corrupt influence, and all of these foreign governments who have fed her money through the Clinton Foundation come to collect the bills that are due to them, and she's selling off whatever she's doing in the Oval Office, we are in deep weeds here in America. So if you're sitting out the election, if you're voting for Hillary, you probably aren't even watching this anymore. But if you are thinking of sitting out, you're thinking you can't vote for Trump, or you're thinking that you're going to vote for Gary Johnson, of all people, you need to rethink that. You need to look at everything through the prism of the establishment versus the outsider, and look at all the news coverage, look at what they're telling you and what they're not telling you, and just take a minute to think it through. Think for yourself. Don't be spoon-fed by what the media wants you to believe. Don't be spoon-fed by what the establishment Democrats and establishment Republicans want you to believe. Think for yourself and really look at things, and I believe you'll realize that whether you like Trump or not, he is our best chance for this country to carry on and be great again, and for our country to live up to the potential that's been placed in it. And if you vote for Hillary Clinton or don't vote for Hillary Clinton, it's the same thing, and we're going to have 4 to 8 more years of destruction of our company and eroding of our values, eroding of our liberties, and God help us if she wins. Thanks for listening.